Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
On today's Smart 7, Prison Pressure sees Operation Early Dawn launched, Biden speaks in Chicago, and lots more. It's Tuesday 20th of August, it's National Radio Day, and happy birthday, Andrew Garfield.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Monday saw the government launch Operation Early Dawn, which is intended to ease pressure on Britain's overcrowded prison system. The fallback plan will see defendants held in police cells until prison places become available, and it may lead to delays and cancellations in court dates. More than 300 people have been remanded in custody in the aftermath of the riots, and more are expected to be arrested as investigations continue. Michelle Healy KC says that the emergency measures are just a sticking plaster over a serious issue in the criminal justice system. Mark Fairhurst is the national chair of the Prisoner Officers Association, and he told BBC Breakfast that the level of charges after the rioting has left them with little choice.
We've initiated Operation Early Dawn. So basically the easiest way to describe it is 1 in, 1 out. So as people get released, we can then pick up people from police cells and take them to court, and we will triage that 3 times a day.
The Ministry of Justice has already brought over 500 new cells on stream, and from mid-September, thousands of prisoners will be released after 40% of their sentences have been served. Speaking in Northern Ireland, where he was meeting with PSNI officers who were injured in the recent riots, Prime Minister Keir Starmer says that the level of criminality we've seen is unacceptable.
The disorder is intolerable. It is incapable of justification. It's clearly racist, and it does not represent the modern, forward-looking Northern Ireland that I know that this place is.
There was no sign of a breakthrough on Monday in the protracted negotiations aimed at securing a ceasefire in Gaza. American officials have been accused of being too optimistic in their hopes of reaching an agreement to end the 10-month conflict, but with Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in Tel Aviv and scheduled to travel on to Egypt, America is certainly keeping the pressure on. Blinken met for 3 hours with Israel PM Netanyahu on Monday, and that meeting was followed by a positive statement from the Israeli government. The Secretary of State says he feels that this remains a decisive moment.
I'm here as part of an intensive diplomatic effort on President Biden's instructions to try to get this agreement to the line and ultimately over the line. It is time for it to get done. It's also time to make sure that no one takes any steps that could derail this process.
Even if Israel is sounding more positive, it will still be difficult to bridge the gap with Hamas, who are still furious over the assassination of their political chief, Ismail Haniyeh. But Louise Wateridge from the UN's Palestinian aid agency, UNRWA, says it's a matter of great urgency for the people of Gaza.
Just 11% of the Gaza Strip is in this so-called humanitarian zone. So finding safety for anyone in the Gaza Strip is extremely difficult, and you can see the trauma the population has experienced throughout this 10 months.
A new report from the Children's Commissioner on Monday shows that the number of strip searches of children has fallen significantly since 2020. Numbers are down by 42%, but Commissioner Rachel D'Souza is warning that some searches still prove to be unnecessary and that police forces have a big job to do in adopting appropriate safeguarding guidelines. The issue of police searches of children first came to public attention after the case of Girl Q, a 15-year-old black girl who was strip searched by police at her school in Hackney in 2020. 3 Met police officers were recommended for gross misconduct charges over the incident. Following an investigation, D'Souza says strip searches should really only be used in life or death situations.
The majority of them are for suspicion of drugs. Well, hold on. Think about safeguarding first. Make sure there's an appropriate adult. Preferably think about another way to deal with this. It's a deeply intimate, personal search that a child would take a long time to get over.
There was good news for US President Joe Biden on Monday as Republicans finally wrapped up their ill-fated impeachment inquiry into him. Their conclusion was that he was guilty of impeachable conduct, but they just couldn't find any actual evidence. It didn't seem to bother Joe too much. He was in Chicago for the opening night of the Democratic Convention, which will see Vice President Kamala Harris officially crowned as the party nominee for November's elections. In an emotional and sometimes angry speech, Biden called Trump a loser and pledged his support for Harrison Walz in the upcoming elections.
I can honestly say I'm more optimistic about the future than I was when I was elected as a 29-year-old United States Senator. I mean it. Folks, we just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Monday Night Football is back and Jenna Ortega learns to love the scary right after this.
This season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
Welcome back.
Monday Night Football is back along with the rest of the Premier League. The first Monday game of the season saw Leicester City back at the top table and welcoming Spurs to the King Power Stadium. Even though it's only the first weekend of the season with almost all of the big clubs winning their opening games, there was already pressure on Spurs manager Ange Postecoglou to deliver an away win. In the end, it was a 1-1 draw with Jamie Vardy scoring on his Premier League return. Leicester manager Steve Cooper was relieved he was fit enough to start the game.
You know, he done what he does, doesn't he? He's in the right time. It was a really good goal. Obviously, the second half was miles better than the first half, but we know that if we can get some decent ball in around the penalty box, then you know we've got the guy to find the space, and that was the case with the goal.
Jenna Ortega has had an incredible career for someone who is still only 22 years of age. She's been a Disney star, she starred in serial killer series You, along with teen drama The Fallout and roles in the Scream series. She's also picked up Emmy, Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild nominations for her work in Addams Family spin-off Wednesday. Series 2 of that is filming in Ireland at the moment, but she's also about to star in the Beetlejuice sequel, which hits cinemas in 2 weeks' time. She says she's learned to love the scary roles.
Well, when I was younger, I was scared of everything.
Like what? The dark and all the things?
I was scared of Beetlejuice. Yeah. I loved the Gremlins, but I hated them at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was always very confused, but I think I got older and I realized that excitement is the same as fear. So it's like when I'm scared, I can just tell myself I'm excited.
Have you ever imagined a version of Succession, except instead of the Roy family, it's based on Greek gods? Well, I've got good news. There's a new Netflix series on the way, which is almost exactly that. It's called Chaos, and it stars Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, the original godfather, as he struggles with the end of the world while wearing a tracksuit. It's got a star-packed cast including Janet McTeer, David Thewlis, Billy Piper, and Susie Eddie Izzard. The first episode drops on August 29th.
Mortals, I made you. And this is how you repay me.
Really? We're meant to be together.
Some humans are nice.
They don't matter.
Whoa! Why'd you do that? Why'd you shoot me?
Who are you?
What if I told you could see a whack again?
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.
Give us 7 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
At Ashley, you'll find colorful furniture that brings your home to life. Ashley makes it easier than ever to express your personal style with an array of looks in fun trending hues to choose from earth tones to vibrant colors to calming blues and greens. Ashley has pieces for every room in the house in the season's most sought-after shades. A more colorful life starts at Ashley. Shop in-store, online today. Ashley, for the love of home.